What is good, sister family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this, I want to break down something very important about the market that's coming out over the next couple of minutes. I'm going to talk about the Fed beige book that's going to be released very soon, what this means for the market going forward, and what the current information on SPY means for us as well. I'm also going to talk about Tesla and break down something very interesting about the price action and how things are looking, in my opinion. But before I break down all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. Firstly, I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, deposit $100 into the account, you are guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed up to 15 free stocks, and the offer ends very, very soon. Anyways, when it comes to the way the market is moving, SPY right here is in a very, very interesting place, and this is going to be very important for Tesla and the whole market. Now, as far as Tesla goes, as you guys could tell, Tesla's a little bit weak compared to the market. It was trying to rebound just a little bit intraday, but it's still down 1% overall, despite SPY being green alongside the QQQ and many other ETFs and other tickers out there. So Tesla's kind of hovering between our 50 and 200 EMAs in the 5 minutes time frame. It's starting to reject right over here, so we'll have to see how well it holds 178. But I want everyone to be very, very careful about something. So today at 2 p.m., we have the Fed Beige book coming out. What is this? It's basically this book that's released by the Fed. It's a summary of commentary on the current economic conditions, and this could cause somewhat of a move in the markets. This is important because it's going to give us more insights on what's happening with the unemployment data, what's going on with all these pieces of information about the labor markets, prices, and then all these different districts from the Fed. And it's going to give us more insights on how the economy is doing, and this could give some hints about what the Fed may be doing with monetary policy. This is very important. It could actually affect the market to some extent, so watch for volatility once this is released at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, this isn't as big as like a CPI or anything that crazy, but I do think this could cause somewhat of a move. I also told you all that when Jerome Powell was giving his speech, right, his little testimony in front of the US House, we're going to see some high volatility, and that is what happened to SPY. SPY came down all the way down to 508 today, right before his speech was starting, once the JOLTS job openings came out. And then a little bit after, when Powell was giving his speech, we went from 508 all the way up to 512. Now we're coming back down again. So it's pretty volatile, pretty crazy price action we've been seeing. It's having a big effect on Tesla as well. Tesla is now returning to 178. We'll see how well this holds. If we lose this, a bigger drop could come. If we hold it, we're going to be fine. Overall, watch for some high volatility. So I'm going to start off by talking about SPY and break down some more things about Tesla. SPY basically has this high at 514. We came down, we pushed back up to about 512, and notice how we're making a lower high right here. And we're kind of rejecting too. If the beige book comes down and we fail to break this high, if we fail to break 512 and eventually the all-time high, this could be the start of a downtrend. We had this high here, came down, made a lower high, then we could be making a lower low. So there's going to be a risk of a big rejection. So please be very, very careful. This could be a sign that the market's switching directions and we're getting ready for a change to the downside, and we could see more downside from there. Watch resistance now at 510. If we break that, 511.5 is minor resistance, 512 to 512.5 is stronger resistance. For support, watch 508.5 is the critical support. It's also trying to hold around this 509 area. It's very minor support. The strongest support is going to be right here at 508.5. Then we have a gap to fill at 507, not to mention the next support at 505. Overall, SPY is on a downtrend that could possibly be starting if we're going to get this rejection. So please be very careful, and we'll see what the beige book causes. If SPY continues to reject, that's going to be a little bit more bearish for the markets, including Tesla. Looking at Tesla already, it's starting to reject just a little bit more thanks to SPY. Watch 180 as resistance, and we also have support right now at this 177.5 to 178 zone. If we lose this, we're going to be coming down to about 175 and 173.25. Tesla's starting to reject here, so be careful, guys. It's looking relatively weak. I went over a lot of pieces of news involving the Chinese numbers, the issues we had in Berlin yesterday, some price cuts from analysts, not to mention the fact that Tesla has lost hundreds of millions of euros worth, if not close to $1 billion worth of damages. And this happened because of the power cuts, not to mention other things like that. So it's some bad news for Tesla. That's what's causing this thing to drop the way it is. So let's see how Tesla performs here, and we'll see what the beige book causes coming out in just a few minutes. For a few more, we have the QQQ coming out. This thing is very similar to SPY. We had this high up here at 446. We established a lower high at 442. We got this pump as we predicted, but now we're starting to reject. Watch 440 as resistance, 438 as support, and if we lose this, there's 436 as our next zone. We're starting to reject. We're looking kind of weak, so please be very careful on the QQQ, and we'll have to see how it goes from there. There is a possible rejection coming, so be careful when the beige book comes out. Nvidia is also leading the QQQ because it approached this 900 area, and we failed to get past it. We're kind of rejecting close to 900, and now we're approaching 886 right now. If we do lose this, I could see 875. I'm sorry, 880 coming next. If that fails, it's just 872 followed by 865. And if we lose 865, we have this gap to fill at 857. So those are the supports to be watching for. We're kind of rejecting right here. Watch 892 as resistance to 900, and watch support at 885. If we lose that, a bigger drop is going to be coming all the way down to the 870 area, 877 area. So QQQ is getting dragged down thanks to this. Nvidia is showing some weakness. Please be careful. We'll see what the beige book causes. Apple is no different. Apple's looking weaker too. We were trying to bounce it, tried and failed so far. We're watching the support at 169. If we lose this, bigger drop is going to be coming to this 168 area, to then 167.5 is next. Watch resistance at 170 and then 170.9. So be very careful. We have this nice downtrend and we'll see how it goes. With that being said, guys, the market is showing some weakness in some areas. We'll see how SPY performs, and the way it's performing right now is, it's causing Tesla to slow down. We just got this rejection off 180. Tesla failed to break. That's coming down a little bit towards 178. Not looking that great. So watch what the beige book causes, and just know there's been some bad news for Tesla, which is why it's relatively weak. We'll watch our levels and see how it goes. With that being said, I want to thank you all so much for listening. The data comes out in just about a minute. Not a minute, sorry, like 10 minutes. I want to just say one more thing. I know a lot of people sometimes get a little annoyed about all this data I'm talking about. The reason I talk about this data and give you guys these warnings is because the data causes volatility. Does the market always respond rationally to all this data? The answer is no, it does not. Sometimes you could get a hot CPI and the market could run. Sometimes it drops. You could get a decent CPI and sometimes the market will just pop and go up. Sometimes it'll go down. It's all over the place because the reason why I think this happens is because algorithms and institutions are dictating the markets, and they make moves based off data. But sometimes they could do things that are very ironic to trick a lot of investors, and their main goal is just to move liquidity around the place, and they oftentimes use this data as an excuse. So for that reason, sometimes when Jerome Powell speaks, things could be very, very unpredictable sometimes. That's why I'm always open-minded. So in this case, we'll see what the beige book causes. Does this cause the market to pump one more time, or do we get a big rejection? We have to be very careful. Looking at SPY, the current trend is not looking that great. We had this high at 514. We haven't been able to break it. It's trying to reject a little bit. So it's not looking too good. We'll see if we could try to get back above 514. If we do so, we could remain bullish. If we fail to do so, and if 512 was where we peak at, a lower high could be established, and this could be a sign of a downtrend starting on SPY. So be careful. So far, it's rejecting. It is favoring the downtrend that could be starting if we fail to break 512. So be careful, guys. Do what you have to do. If SPY downtrends more with the QQQ, this could drag Tesla down even lower, all the way down to 175, 173, 168, and lower levels like that. I'm just here to give you a warning. I'm just reading the charts and being honest. I'm sorry. I know you don't want to hear this, but it is the truth. So it is what it is. We watch our levels, and just remember the market is still very bright for the long term. The future is still very bright. SPY has so much potential, so does Tesla. So we're not going to let this get the best of us. All right. Anyways, thank you for listening. Have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you and peace out.